I'd like to welcome to the Metal Shop 101 good friend Kevin Goocher. What's going on, man?
Hey Doc, what you doing, man?
Oh, hanging in there. And for
Yep,
you
yep,
people who don't know, Kevin Goocher was lead vocalist for Omen for a bit and also of Gods and Monsters. So give us a
yep.
little history of Kevin Goocher.
Man, I started, fresh out of high school, playing the club circuit in Dallas, Texas, where I'm originally from, and started touring, doing cover bands. Believe it or not, I did that for 10 years, just
Right.
doing cover bands all over the U.S. For 10 years, and then came back to Dallas and decided, look, I'm just going to do original music. I'm a songwriter. And so I stayed there for a while and had my opportunity to audition for Omen
Right.
and got that gig. I was with them two separate times over the course of 12 years, 11 or 12 years. I'm not for sure.
Right.
But I was with those guys for a long time, and we did a lot of stuff. I only got to put out two albums with them in the entire 10 years. I think that's one of uh, the negative things that happened to me. You would think that being in a band that long, you'd get more opportunity to
Right.
record, but it didn't happen. But in between, around that middle time, I started a band called Phantom X because Omen was like taking this extended break, and I was just like,
Right.
man, I could have something to do. And
Right.
the thing started out as a Ronnie James Dio tribute band, and we started writing, or should I say, I started writing some original music for the band to do, and then it turned into Phantom X.
Right.
And after I was with Omen and Phantom X for a long time. I'm not with either of those bands now. I came to Los Angeles, I guess about 14 years ago, and I've been living there ever since. And in that time, I put together Of Gods and Monsters, which I'm
Right.
very proud of
And
because
you
it's had,
have you had Ira Black playing guitar on that.
yes, yes. In the most recent version, there's been two incarnations of Gods and Monsters. Right now, it's on hiatus again. I don't know if I'm gonna
Right.
do it again or not. But the first version had Dean Castronovo, the drummer for Journey, played on that album, and so did Tim Gaines, the bass player for Striper.
Oh,
uh,
cool.
was with Striper. And then also I had the guitarist Joey Tafoya, who at the time was with Jag Panzer, and we made an album together. And it was released, and then 4 weeks later, COVID hit,
Oh
and so
man.
the whole thing went.
Wow.
So about what, a year and a half later, I decided to try it again, and
Right.
all those guys were busy. Joey, he quit playing, and uh, I think Tim did too. He both those guys just decided, hey man, just they'll record, but they don't want to play. And I kind of want to, if I'm going to put a record out, I want to go do some shows too.
Right.
And of course, Dean went back to Journey. I can't compete with that. He's
Oh
with
no.
Journey. You know what I
Right.
mean? So anyway, I put together a second version, and it had uh, on bass Bjorn England, who played with Quiet Riot and Yngwie Malmsteen when he first came to America, and he and I had Ira Black on guitar,
Right.
and uh, he and gosh, I've lost my mind. Uh, Drummer extraordinaire, and I can't even get his name in my mind right now. Uh, Dio ACDC drummer. Anyway, they played in Dio Disciples together,
Uh
and so they
not Carmine.
no, not Carmine.
Chris Slade.
Simon Wright. Jeez, I
Oh,
can't.
Simon Wright.
Simon
Okay.
Wright. Jeez, and he's one of my favorite drummers. I, losing my mind.
That happens to
Anyway,
all us rockers at some point.
yeah, that was the second version
Right.
of Gods and Monsters. We put that record out. I think we did a couple of shows, and then that thing kind of came to a standstill. But all those guys are busy with their other projects as well, and I can't
Right. Right.
I can't say, oh, you can't go play with your other. Only got to
Right.
play with me.
Right.
So
Right.
that's not gonna work. But anyway, and that's I'm putting out stuff solo wise now.
And
So
yeah,
that's
I mean, you're doing like some southern rock stuff too.
yeah, I am as well as metal. You know, I just put out the song "Hell Hath No Fury," a
Right.
song that my wife and I wrote, and it's a it's a metal song, you know. And
Right.
then at the same time, I'm doing this country southern rock thing. I was in the recording studio, I guess, what about a year and a half or so ago with Simon. Believe it, I remembered his name. Doing drums for a song that I put out with Lorraine Lewis, who at the time was singing with Vixen. Of course, she's got her own band, Femme Fatale, and we did this duet song
Right.
called "Save Me," and Simon played drums. And so we were in the recording studio doing the drums, and the producer heard me speak in my Texas accent and said, "Hey, you know what? You should do some country." And I said, "Funny thing you say that. My
Right.
wife and I, since we've known each other, have been writing these country songs and they're just shelving them. They're just, you know, we got 30 or 40 songs just sitting there collecting dust." And so, needless to say, about 2 months after that, we were in Nashville recording 11 country songs. So,
Oh
kind of got
wow.
this dual thing going on, the
Right.
country southern rock thing and the heavy metal thing.
Now you and your wife have done some Christmas stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you
you
know,
guys got a pretty different catalog from
yeah,
everybody else
we're
I've talked to.
pretty eclectic, man, you
Right.
know? Yeah, we do the Christmas stuff, is a family thing, you know? It's something
Right.
that my daughters and my wife, and I, of course, wanted to do as a family, just something that we could do, so we
Right.
put out a Christmas record this past Christmas,
Right.
uh,
Very
of
cool.
country Christmas pop-ish
Right.
type songs, yeah.
Premiering the Goocher family.
Yeah, yeah.
A Goocher family Christmas.
Yeah, that's what it was, you know? Yeah,
So let
it's
me
fun.
let me ask you this: "Hell Hath No Fury." It seems like a song you're that's for the ladies.
It is for the ladies. It is my nod
It
to
sounds like your wife might have came up with some of the lyrics in there.
yeah, you know, with all that's going on in the world
Right.
today, one of the things that has bothered me, my soul and my heart, is the way women are being treated right now, you know?
Right. I
Their rights
agree
being
with
taken
that.
away. Yeah, I'm just it makes me sad
Right.
because without our women, without our ladies, we men, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
They they are our mothers, they are our
Right.
sisters, and I think that we have to take care of them. As men, it's our job
Right.
to help take care of them. Not that they can't take care of themselves, because most of them are pretty badass,
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
So, it's not that, it's just the I just felt it was wrong the way they've been treated, so I was like, "Hell hath no fury
Like a
like
woman
a
scorned.
woman scorned." Oh, yeah. And so my wife and I, we just ran with that and came up with a pretty cool song, I think, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is there some more rock or metal songs you got coming out?
As a matter of fact, that song, we pulled that song. I have a full Kevin Goocher metal album. It's sitting there, waiting for something to happen. I had a couple of labels interested, and then of course one of them went kerplunk
Right.
out of business, and then the other one, it just wasn't the right fit for what I have going on. But yeah, I've got a whole CD, and it's kind of a concept idea. Half of the album is about Lilith. Do you know who Lilith is?
Lilith. Refresh my memory.
Okay, in the Gnostic version of the Bible, there's a
Right.
lot more books in it than the regular Holy Bible that most people read here in America. But in those Gnostic versions, there was Adam had a wife before Eve,
Oh, okay.
and her name was Lilith. And so and she left Eden on her own will because she didn't feel like things were equal between her and Adam. So
Okay.
she went off on her own. So my concept piece, or the concept piece that my wife and I have come up with, is about Lilith and kind of the feelings and ideologies that go along with her story, her side of the
Oh, okay.
story.
Very
Yeah,
cool. Very
yeah.
cool.
And then the other side is just some good old heavy metal bangers, you
Very
know.
cool.
Yeah.
So now, is your wife? I mean, has she always been into writing and doing music with you?
Yeah, she's not really a performer as such. I've been trying to coax her into, like, with my country stuff. I just did a
Right.
solo show back at our home before we came out to New Orleans. We're in New Orleans hanging out right now. But I finally coaxed her to get up and do some singing with me,
All
as
right.
well as my daughter. So it was fun. But as far as a songwriter, I mean, yeah, she's been doing it as long as I've known her. She's been
Right.
a songwriter, and she's helped me from time to time with lyrics on songs and melodies on songs, uh, be it heavy metal or be it southern rock country.
Right.
We've done some pop stuff for one of our children that was a performer for a while. We've done a lot of stuff together.
Now, your kids involved in performing too?
Well, not anymore. The one that was got married, had kids,
Uh,
gave up music, and
that's the way it
broke my
usually
heart.
happens.
You know?
I hear you. So, let me ask you this, Kevin. What's your take on the music scene now as compared to back then?
Ooh, see, I think it's totally different now. I was hoping you would bring up some of these questions because
Right.
I definitely have thoughts on it. Um, I don't like where the music industry is right now. I mean, I the problem is that music is so dispensable at this point.
Right.
Back when I was a kid, when we were younger, we would go to the record store and literally had to spend our money buying an album or
Right.
45 cassette, 8-track, CD, whatever it was. But we bought the whole thing. We
Right.
bought it, and we would go home immediately, put it in our player, look at that album cover. What's
Oh
part of an
yeah.
experience. You don't get that anymore.
No.
People download it from the internet. Usually it's just one song, and it inhibits bands to become legendary, is what it is. We had Led Zeppelin, we had all these great bands,
Right.
Rainbow, Dio, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, all these great bands in the 70s and the 80s. Some of them are still here. Some of them are still making money. Some of them, they're not with us anymore for whatever reasons.
Right.
But they had the opportunity to become legendary because of the way the industry was set up. It's not set up that way anymore. So
No.
now for a band to become legendary and to have that built-in audience that's there from day one, they're going strong 10, 15 years later, it's a lot harder of a job for the band and the labels to make that happen because of
Right.
what's going on, the internet, free downloading, people just give away the music, and that's how bands stay together is you got to buy their music
Right.
and
Right.
and put a little money in their pocket so that they can continue to do what they do.
Right.
So a lot of bands, they do it now just because they love it.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
it's
I mean,
because
there's
it's
a
the
lot of I've noticed a lot of the older bands are coming back and they're
yeah,
touring and they're,
yeah,
putting out new stuff.
yeah,
And I'm talking, I mean, we're talking legends.
yeah,
And it's great to see them doing that. But I also noticed too that a lot of the upcoming bands, especially in the past couple of years, are going back to that old school sound, whether it be Led Zeppelin or whatever, that old
yeah,
school rock and roll era that, we grew up on. And I
right,
noticed a lot of bands going back to that, or, whether it be 80s stuff or whatever. But I think they're starting to realize, hey, man, these legends paved the way for us. So why don't we, you know, do it
right,
their way,
right,
you know?
right. Well, I mean, especially let's who's come back here. Well, I'm trying to think who went away and came back here recently. I just can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but they paved their own path in the
Right,
70s and the 80s. There's nothing wrong with them utilizing what they built in the past to further their career now.
right.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Right.
So I see that happening a lot, and that's cool. And that's some music we grew up on, man. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you know, things have changed so much, and that'll bring me into my next question. What is your take on the AI disease with music?
Well, you nailed it right there. It's a disease. You know, I think if you don't, I when I was coming up, learning my craft as a singer and a guitarist, I'm not a very good guitarist. I'm not a very good bass player. I'm not a very good drummer, but I can play those instruments. Not
Right.
grand. There's many, but singing, that was my that's where I shine out. That's what I do
Right.
best. But I had to work at it. It's not something that, oh, hey, I woke up one day and I can sing.
Right.
It didn't happen that way. That's the problem that I have with AI. It allows people to, you know, bypass this thing we call talent, you
Right.
know,
Exactly.
and so I don't like it. I don't think it's right. I think it's a slap in the face for people like myself
Right.
who spent all my life trying to be a better singer, a better musician, a better performer. It's taken years of dedication and years of hard work just to get where I'm at now. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
so that's my thoughts on it. I don't like it. I like that people can play around with it and have fun, but
Right.
as it being a real art form, I don't have any respect for it at all.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, when a writer such as yourself writes a song and somebody can connect with it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, it's got more meaning because there's a human connection there where AI does not have that.
Right, right.
AI is computer generated. So,
Right, right.
I mean,
Well,
I
computers are cool. I appreciate. I mean, we are right now
right.
on computers with each other, talking, chatting. There's a lot of great stuff that happens on computers.
Right.
There's a lot of crappy stuff that happens on computers
Yeah.
too. So it's like anything. There's good and bad with all of it. But yeah, uh, I work hard at writing music, writing songs. I am a storyteller and
Right.
have been a musical storyteller since I was 14, 15 years old, when I first started writing music.
Right.
So and here I'm 62 now. So I've been doing it a long time.
Right.
So I appreciate the creativity and the talent that it takes for a songwriter to do that.
Right. Absolutely, I do too. I mean, I know you guys work hard at your craft, and I can appreciate that. And I was kind of waiting to see what you were going to put out. You put out Hell Hath No Fury, and I was like, yes, okay, let's go.
I put out a consensus, a question to my the people that follow me. All right, I'm doing this country southern rock thing. I'm doing the heavy metal thing. What would y'all like for me to put out? And
Right.
it was a lot said. Oh, we want a heavy metal song.
Well,
I
that's the
think
thing I've noticed too is metal is on the rise. Rock and metal is back on the rise again.
yeah,
I mean, they will, it dies down for a bit, and then it comes back with a vengeance.
yeah,
All the time.
yeah.
It's not a genre that's ever going to go away.
No, we're the cockroaches of the music business.
That's
We're
right.
never gonna die.
That's right.
And that's the thing is everything goes in big cycles, circles.
Right.
So even when heavy metal is on the down slump, doesn't mean it's gone. It's just
Right.
not being talked about as much, not being listened to as much. But I do appreciate it when it comes back around,
Right.
because it allows me to do more.
Right.
It just makes it harder when it's not as popular. It just makes it harder for the artist to have the money and the means to do a lot of it. They can do some, but when people are talking about it and people are buying it, you get to do a whole lot more.
Right.
And it's not like guys like me. We're not getting totally wealthy off of it. We're
Right.
not Iron Maiden. You know,
Yeah. I got
wish
you.
I was, but I'm not.
I got you.
It does allow me to do. I get to do it. I get to uh, be creative and put out records, and to me, that's a big deal.
Right. Right. I got one more question for you, Kevin. I'll let you go. What advice do you have for upcoming singer songwriter? What advice could you give somebody?
Don't do it. Run away now. No, I mean, it's a passion. Being in the music industry is definitely a passion, and it's not for the weak. So prepare yourself for a whole lot of rejection and a whole lot of no's, a whole lot of you go back to the garage and work some more out. You're going to hear it a lot.
Right.
But if you love it and you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing, just go for it full
Right.
force. Don't let up. Don't let up. Just keep going.
Right. And Kevin, where can people find that Hell Hath No Fury single at?
It is all over. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. It's on every platform.
Okay.
You can find it, I think, even on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. It's there as well. You can go listen to it. It's out there in places that you can hear it for free. But I appreciate it when you spend that buck and download it.
Right.
It allows me to do more. But
Right.
it's out there. It's everywhere. Just play it loud.
All right, Kevin. Hey, thanks for taking the time out, coming on a Metal Shop 101, man. And looking forward to hearing that album
Thank you,
by
Doc. And
Lilith.
yeah. We'll get it out there sooner or later. I don't know if we're going to do a couple more singles first before we release it. I know we still have some mixing left to do on it, but that's about it. It's
Right.
it's recorded and ready to rock out. It'll be the first recording I've ever played all the instruments on: the drums, the bass, the keyboards, the
Right.
guitars. It's all me at this point.
Cool.
So kind of excited about it.
All right, Kevin. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
Okay, no problem.